Welcome to the paradise island of Sardinia. Think lazy days on the beach, long lunches, and beautiful people promenading. That is until the World Rally Championship hits town and tears the place apart. Before we bring you the second day's action, here's your chance to get up to speed with the first day's total carnage. 2009 Sardinia winner Rali de Itália-Sardenha charged into the first stage, hoping to keep up with the leaders in the title race. Co-driver Mika Antila held his hand up to a wrong pace note delivered. Rali forgave him immediately, but how costly could that be to their championship hopes? Henrik Solberg's gut-wrenching season continued when he took it to the bridge, quite literally hitting a bridge on stage 3, which sparked a fire in the rear of his car, but extinguished his hopes of a good finish here in Sardinia. Evgeny Novikov had worked his way up into third, showing a previously unseen maturity. Until the penultimate stage of the day, where he seemed to miss here or ignore co-driver Prevo, wanting to exercise caution. Mini's Chris Meek had flown out of the blocks, setting quick stage times and moving into fourth, but his dream start suddenly turned to a nightmare with his throttle stuck open. There was nothing he could do. Ahead of all this carnage, there was actually a rally going on. Petter Solberg had charged into an early lead, only to lose almost 40 seconds with a turbo problem. Mikko Hirvonen and Sebastian Loeb then battled for the lead early on, with Loeb clearly pushing, before a vintage performance saw the cool-headed Frenchman dominate and build a significant lead. A lead that was further increased when Hirvonen suffered a puncture on the day's penultimate stage, dropping 50 seconds. And the final unexpected twist in the tale was Sébastien Ogier pulling tactics and slowing down in order to drop behind Hirvonen in the running order for a more advantageous start position on day 2. This is how it stands for the second day of this captivating rally. Loeb out front with Petter Solberg his closest challenger. Hirvonen is almost a minute behind the leader and Ogier just 2.4 seconds behind the leading Ford driver. After Chris Meek's throttle problems dropped him out of contention, we've switched our attentions to Dani Sordo as our featured driver. He had reached the end of day 1 in a satisfying 6th place, having stated before the event that a top 5 finish would be a great debut for the team. He'll be on a charge today.
It will be really difficult today, really narrow and tricky place with a lot of stones in the sides of the road, so we need to be really careful.
And what's the plan of attack going to be?
The plan is to try to continue with the car well, to try to do more kilometers and to change small parts in the car, small things in the suspension for being more confidence and to learn in these roads.
Day 2 of Rali de Itália-Sardenha will be run on the more familiar Costa Smeralda stages, closer to the service park in Olbia. With 143 kilometres of competitive stages to run, it's sure to be another classic day's rallying. Our stage of the day is the much-loved Monte Lerno, featuring the classic high-flying Mickey's jump, where we've seen some of the most spectacular jumps in the WRC's history. We'll be catching up with Dani Sordo as our new featured driver for regular updates throughout the day. And all the best action from day 2. If it's anything like day 1, then stay exactly where you are. This is how the top WRC runners line up. Loeb again leads from the front with Solberg second on the road. Mikko Hirvonen and Loeb's teammate Sébastien Ogier will hope they can take advantage of a clearer line than the leading pair. Mads Osberg starts 5th, just ahead of Dani Sordo's Mini. Rali de Itália-Sardenha is restarting under Super Rally rules, as is Chris Meek. Armindo Araujo is driving a privately entered Mini. And further back, Evgeny Novikov also restarts after that day 1 crash. We have the longest stage of the weekend up next. The 29 kilometres of Coilunia is our first challenge of the second day. And again, it's Sébastien Loeb who leads us away. Breathtakingly quick here. The surface is a bit softer than we saw to the west of the island on day 1. Loeb managed to lead despite road sweeping yesterday. It remains to be seen how slippery the Citroën Total Man will find this sandy surface this morning. Petter Solberg is the first man to challenge the rally leader. The Norwegian privateer begins this second morning just over half a minute behind Loeb. He's opted for a softer setup this morning, hoping to generate more traction. He's pushing hard to take advantage of that slightly clearer line, and it is looking good. Yep, 7.2 seconds made up on the first stage. So far, so good for Solberg and co-driver Chris Patterson. Big air from Mikko Hirvonen. He's pushing. Like Petter, Hirvonen is fighting to claw back lost time on the opening day, and the four-man is giving it a real go on this second morning. Another incredibly fast-flowing section here. Hirvonen is slightly quicker than Solberg, and he too edges closer to the rally leader. Sébastien Ogier is next into the stage, nice and tidy over the jump. Remember, the Frenchman opted to take road order tactics yesterday evening to ensure he starts behind Petter and Mikko. He dropped more than 20 seconds to give himself this road position, so can he make it count here in this long stage 9? He's got a chance to pass Mikko. He started the stage just 2.4 seconds behind, remember. Yes, he's done it. Ogier up to third place. So far, the tactics looking like they're working out then. Mats Osberg has finally had a clean rally after a frustrating run of bad luck in recent events. He lost a bit of time with brake problems yesterday afternoon, but still begins the second morning in 5th place and not too far adrift of the top 4 drivers. Behind Osberg on the leaderboard is Dani Sordo, flying the flag for the new mini-team in the top 6 positions. The Spaniard has made a career out of being quick and controlled, and while his teammate Meek has hit problems, Dani's board is John Cooper works WRC through these tough Sardinian stages so far, much to the delight of the travelling Spanish fans. Sordo is 8th quickest on stage 9. With the front runners all through, it's worth keeping an eye on some high-profile Super Rally restarters. Jari-Matti Latvala in particular is flying. He began the morning way down in 45th, but with a stage win to begin the day, he jumps up 7 positions. Latvala still a long way adrift of the top 10 out front. Loeb's lead has been trimmed slightly. Solberg now just 26 seconds behind, and Ogier's passed Hirvonen to slot into 3rd. Dani Sordo still in a comfortable 6th place for Mini. Still to come, the Rali d'Italia's iconic Montilerno jump. It's in our stage of the day and it's coming up in a few minutes. We'll see you then. Welcome back to sunny Sardinia, where Sébastien Loeb continues to lead despite running as the first car on the road. Earlier we caught up with the world champion to explain just how your performance is affected by sweeping the road for the chasing pack.
You don't have the same grip at all, and you are making the first line on the gravel or the sand. So, and after that the other car are coming on a hard bottom. So on the driving side, when you brake, you are sliding much more. When you turn, it's not reactive; it's starting to slide. At the exit of the corner, you lose the traction, and so it's fun to drive, but it's not fast.
So to our stage of the day, the legendary Montilerno is just under 28 kilometres long, features the same sandy gravel surface as we've already seen on day 2, and is famous for the incredible Mickey's jump. Pro-Drive boss David Richards is among the crowd, and the first to tackle our stage of the day is Sébastien Loeb. The Frenchman releases his Citroën DS3 into this spectacular stretch of road, and as we just heard, will be fighting for traction at every corner of this gravel-covered road.
Et gauche à ton cours, plus 1. 100 mètres droite, 140 courgettes.
Loeb slipping and sliding his way through there. Petter Solberg is next through. The Citroën Privateer is giving it everything, but Petter's miserable luck continues. This time a slow puncture means he'll definitely lose a bit of time to the rally leader in Montilerno. Back on the start line is the leading Ford of Mikko Hirvonen. Jarmo Lehtinen looking calm alongside him. really aggressive getaway for the Finn. He made up almost 8 seconds on the rally leader on the opening stage of the day. With another 28 kilometres to tackle in Montilerno, he'll hope for a similar performance in here. Sébastien Ogier has just passed Hirvonen on the leaderboard. The Frenchman also pushing hard early on in our stage of the day. Up ahead, though, the split times have looked quite promising for Loeb. Looking at his telemetry, you can get a sense how aggressively he has to drive as he fights the car on this loose gravel. Trying to be really careful to avoid sliding under braking. He also needs to be really precise with trees and rocks really tight alongside the road verges. Approaching Montilerno's famous jump now. Loeb hitting around 70 kilometres an hour and a huge leap from the world champion. This is a really impressive drive from Seb. Let's take another look at him over the jump. Does touch the brakes slightly there, but that's still a massive flight for Loeb. And a good time too.
Sebastian, the cleaning doesn't look to be too bad.
Cleaning was bad. I had to take big risks to. It was slippery nearly everywhere. We had some parts in the stage where it was less. The start was terrible. The end was okay. In the middle, it was very slippery still, but I pushed really, really hard.
Hirvonen, meanwhile, is fast approaching Mickey's jump, named after Italy's double world champion Mickey Biasion. Mikko, like Mickey, always ready to entertain the crowds. Has he made another impact on Loeb's advantage? Well, he has, but just 2.8 seconds gained in Montilerno, running behind Seb on the road. He'd have hoped for better than that.
Seb is just, you know, he's very good being first on the road. I mean, it's hard surf and it's clean. He's still pulling those times, so it's not quite enough.
Further back, Mads Osberg is still doing his best to stay in touch with the leading quartet. Oh, and judging from that display over Mickey's jump, the M Sport Stobart man is certainly giving it a go. Let's take another look at that from inside the car. Wow, the Norwegian is definitely enjoying himself out there. David Richards will be an interested observer of the next car through. His team, of course, running the Mini of Danny Sordo. Impressive stuff from the Spaniard too, and he's still safe in 6th. The fastest man for the second consecutive stage is Jari-Matti Latvala. The Finn loves these roads, and although frustrated to be out of the fight, is certainly showing incredible pace. For poor old Chris Meek, though, there is no sign of his frustration ending. We know he has the pace. We saw that yesterday morning. But at the moment, luck has deserted him. Another serious problem here for Chris. And again, he's forced to call it a day. An early bath again for Meek and co-driver Paul Nagel.